What's up? It's Jax, and in this video, I will be talking about my experience and short review of a Minecraft movie which I just saw this evening with my friend Henry. We dressed up in our Steve outfits and went to the theater, and I'll talk about the whole experience now. So I will say, I am trying to avoid spoilers and talking about spoilers of the movie on my channel until at least the movie has gotten to streaming platforms, and just so there's something to look at, I will be playing the limited time movie event in the background while I talk about the movie. So, this is unscripted, uncut. I apologize if it's really horribly formatted and whatnot. I'm just kind of rambling here. So, anyway, my general experience with the movie was great. It's a great time. I actually laughed a bunch. A lot of times, I don't find myself laughing too much at movies, even funny movies, even if I really like them. But with this movie, I was almost laughing the whole time. I would say it was great. I went into it. It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting, especially because I had read some the initial critic reviews. I was expecting it was gonna be a funny haha laugh movie. But I was expecting a little bit more slower pace, a little bit more time actually exploring Minecraft's features and whatnot. But I do think that what we got is great, just not what we were expecting. Or what I was expecting, at least. So, first I will go in with my critiques for the movie, and then I will go in and say all the good things about it. Because I do not think that the critiques I have, even if they sound more numerous than what I like about the movie, I don't think that my critiques really are impacting my answer to should I see the movie, which is yes. So, my first critique, and I guess my main critique, is the movie does really well with 3 of the characters. And here I'm going to get into more spoilery territory, so if there's anything that you just really don't want to hear, I'm not going to give away major plot points or spoilers, but again, I could spoil something that you might regard as a spoiler, I might not. So anyway, the movie does really well with 3 of the characters, and those are Steve, Henry, and Garrett. It had a great plan, and after the first initial battle scene, they had they knew on the journey to this location, which I will not say what the location is. They really knew what to do with the characters. They went on this wacky adventure, got into trouble and mischief. It was crazy, epic scenes, really epic, really fun time. However, the other 2 main characters of the movie, Natalie and Dawn, I feel like the movie didn't really know what to do with them. They were great in at least one of them was great in the initial battle scene, but on the journey to this place, I really feel like they didn't really have much. They had a couple cutaway scenes that were important, and were important to the movie's progression, yes. But the other characters seemed just so much more numerous. They had so much more action, so much more crazy stuff to do. I just feel like they could have done a lot more with Natalie and Dawn, at least to the same level or a similar level as what they did with Steve and Garrett. And the movie, at least it felt very short. It felt rushed. The climax came very quickly, kind of suddenly. They didn't really do much explaining with objects in the film. But again, if you're looking for a heavy lore-based movie, it won't be that. But yeah, it felt fast, and it felt and in the final battle scene, I felt like a lot of the characters, again, Natalie and Dawn, one of them very specifically though, didn't really do much at all. Henry, and I'm not going to spoil other parts of it, but they had a lot to do with the movie, or with the final battle scene, I mean. But Natalie and Dawn were just really underused the whole time. Sure, they had a couple important parts, but I don't know. Another one of my little critiques is that I really don't think they spend enough time exploring like all the different like Minecraft features. I did like how they brought in items from Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Legends into the movie, and not just regular Minecraft. So that was good, but I feel like really only saw a few biomes, and it was just we didn't really see that many like mobs have prominent screen time. And I know it wasn't really the purpose of the movie, to, like show all these different features, but I still wish they had stretched it out a little bit longer. I feel like in this case that would have worked really well if they had stretched out the movie to show just some more like again they could have added to Natalie and Dawn's scenes to just have a few wacky adventures showcasing Minecraft's just random features and like other mobs, challenges, stuff like that. And I feel like that would have worked really well, and I would have really enjoyed that. But they didn't do that. So those were really my only critiques. And now I'll talk about all the things that I love about the movie. Because, again, it sounds like I'm being harsh, and I probably am being too harsh in the movie. But really, those critiques did not impact my overall enjoyment because I had such a great time. My major like of the movie is the humor. I find myself often not really laughing at jokes in movie theaters, but in the Minecraft movie, I was laughing probably almost the whole time. It was genuinely really funny. There were a few cutaway gags and scenes that fell out of place, but aside from that, really funny. Great humor. I will say it's really random humor, and also crude humor a lot of the time. So if that's not your thing, then you might not like it that much, but I do love random and crude humor, so I found it extremely funny. Let me think. Another one of the aspects I liked, I've already talked about how it brings in items from other games, but also the visuals. I like the visuals a lot, and I know that a lot of reviews now are saying that, oh, you can clearly tell the characters on the green screen, but I still felt myself immersed enough in the world that I didn't really notice it. And that might just be a me thing, I might just have better suspension of disbelief, but I really, like, the visuals were great. There were a couple of things where maybe it was a bit off, but I think that the use of practical effects, practical sets, and props, combined with, like, CGI, really worked. I'll admit that when I first saw the Minecraft movie trailer, I was very skeptical about how they were doing all in live action. But after watching the movie, I am really, really glad that they did do it in live action. I felt that it was actually a good decision, and it worked well. Another thing, I think another one of the biggest things for me, alongside the humor, is actually the references, and like, not really inside jokes, but there were a lot of great references. A lot of cool stuff to look out for. One of my favorite parts of the movie, I was hoping to do something like this, but this was like very blatant. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a scene that involves an Enderman in the movie, and there's a crazy moment in there that I really like suggest you watch the movie because that is like insane. And also just references to like the general modding community. Not like in Minecraft community, I mean. Like in the behind the scenes video they talked about how the character of Henry was supposed to be a modder. And I feel like they did show that in the movie. The movie was very creative. They also brought in some like of their own items, which worked well. I like that. Again, I'm just kind of rambling here since I have no script, but back to the Natalie and Dawn topic. In the behind the scenes video, since I was just talking about that, they said like about the characters for Steve and Henry and Garrett, but I noticed they didn't talk about. Oh, there's a great hog talking about the movie. Did I get diamonds? Oh, that's where I got them. Anyway, I'm rambling. Okay. The characters of they talked about like the role and purpose of Steve, Henry, and Garrett in the behind the scenes video. But I noticed when watching that now, and I realized now watching the movie is even more so, they didn't talk about Natalie and Dawn at all in the behind the scenes footage. I feel like that's just, they really didn't know what to do with them. But again, I sound like I'm being very harsh. I probably really am. The overall movie experience was great, and I would highly recommend it. Yeah, great references, great humor. The action was great. It was nearly non-stop action, and I also really loved a scene in like what's called the Redstone Mines. That was great. There's a lot of like physical comedy as well, and I will talk about the Jennifer Coolidge bit a little bit. That was really funny. Stick around during the end credits because there's a funny scene with that, and even more importantly, stick around until after the credits finish because there is a crazy lore drop. I'd say it's definitely setting up a sequel, but really, like, you cannot miss out on the post-credit scene. So please just watch until the very end, after the credits finish. But yeah, I think that might be almost everything I wanted to talk about so far. Trying to think if there's anything else I should mention. I guess go into it with an open mind. Know that it's not really heavy on the lore. Even, like, I wasn't expecting it to go that heavy on the lore. But I'm talking about, like, even less so. But it is definitely setting something up. And I guess the character development is okay. It's pretty good, actually. Oh, yeah, the real world segment at the beginning of the movie. I really enjoyed that. I was wondering if maybe, like, that would be a bit boring, but no, it really wasn't. So, yeah, go into it with an open mind. Expect silly, goofy fun. Jack Black is great. All the actors are great in their roles. And it's an epic experience. Like, really a peak Minecraft experience. Very, very fun. And yeah, I would highly, highly recommend it to anybody who's a fan of Minecraft. If I think of anything else, I'll probably post it on YouTube Shorts. But I guess that's it for now. So thank you so much for watching. And please go watch a Minecraft movie if you can. It is worth the experience, and I highly recommend it.